Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Happy Saturday. I'm so excited to be here with you all. Like seriously, we had a great engagement on our last two lives. It has been amazing. I will not take that from you. So listen here. Please make sure you like, share, subscribe, and also tell somebody that we are live. We only have one super sticker goal today, so hopefully we can make it. I did want to come by and give some commentary on pretty much what I heard. Word on the curb, word on the street, honey. It is going down. It is going down. Miss Bernadette has come out, and actually, we're not going to go to the game room. We'll start right here because it's still early. Go get your bite to eat. But anywho, Miss Bernadette had Grace Stuff Down's channel, and she pretty much went on there and she said that you know she's been got up out of that situation that Lady Nika's in because Lady Nika's in like a whole situation to where she's like hanging out with these younger women and she lets these younger women talk to her any kind of way. Like they can cuss her out at any given time. And pretty much, in Bernadette, she said that, people were trying to use her past against her, right? Yeah, she is in the life. And she said she knew at a younger age, and she's always on her stuff. She said that, she got married, she had children, and, a lot of people were speculating, well, why did she get divorced? Well, she said that she had gotten a divorce because her husband was a police officer. And really, when you talk about a police officer, their lives are in danger. And the particular town and the city that she was in, I guess like the crime rates were very high. And so, I guess it had given her anxiety. And also, just life be life. And then she comes to conclusion like she's ready to move forward with whatever had come her way. And so the reason why we're here is because Olivia the Oracle comes out here and starts spewing rhetoric, right? You would think that she has her ish together. You would think that she has no issues going on. I know that she takes care of her daughter, right? And when I thought about that, I'm just thinking like, okay, when she's going to these appointments or whenever people are handling and caring for her daughter who is in need of caregiving, correct? Is she asking for sympathy and things like that, um, and even along with that, did she feel any guilt about, maybe was it her fault that, her child, was delivered and kind of where she is today, right? The reason why I'm saying it is because we all have our own stuff. Some of us are more vocal about what's going on. Some of us aren't, right? But when it comes to this woman who appears to always be disgruntled, and it seems like she always wants to look for an outlet to yell and scream and give her point of view and lead her followers a specific way. Now I want to say this: Brian is like a charity case here on YouTube. Brian has been a charity case around here on YouTube. Brian has been looking for love. Brian is trying to get his health in order. Brian is traveling out here to go and see a white man. Brian is over here helping a white man. He wanted to raise money in Black History Month for a white man. So Brian is pretty much all over the place. And Brian really needs to go sit down with a therapist. And I've said this over and over and over again. It's just so interesting how Brian's over there um, on these panels and nobody is saying, like, hey, Brian, you know, it seems like there's been a lot going on. And speaking of a lot going on, Brian lost his mother. Brian is still young. And I don't think that Brian has had time to process or even grieve for that matter. I don't think Brian has really had time to just really grieve and really process what's going on. I feel like Brian is, looking for love in all the wrong places. And I think Brian is chasing a high that he can't come down from, you know? And I feel like Brian is moving way too fast. And I believe that Brian needs to not go chasing waterfalls. Brian needs to stick to the lakes and the rivers that he is used to. And no, I'm not hating. No, I'm not feeling a certain type of way. My thing is, we as adults, we may not agree on everything, right? But that doesn't stop me from giving you a word of advice or stepping out on a limb and saying, hey, hey, I see this. I'm going to be bold and I'm going to say what I feel like some people aren't really saying to Brian. And, I know he'll get the message. I know he'll get the message because somebody's going to tell him, you know, and when you go to the whole violation, word on the curb, Brian was violating, and when we speak about dealing with trauma, I don't even think that he dealt with that. So you have the child with trauma, then you have his mom, then you have dating, then you have his weight, and then you have his living, him, supporting himself. Brian has taken off work. Brian has taken off work because he has put things, he's put his priorities aside. Brian put his priorities aside. Instead of him focusing on the true goal, he's focusing on dating. And I just feel like, Brian, even if you get into a relationship, is not going to heal anything. Like, I thought that, and I'm only saying it from experience, but I thought getting into a relationship, everything was just going to be all gravy. Everything was just going to be all good. If I mind my business, mind my biscuits, everything would be all gravy. And that was not the case because I was still struggling with certain things. And that's why you see my mug shot up in 2019 because I thought that I could, cheat code my way into getting ahead, you know? And it's like, no, you can't cheat your way. You have to go through the process like everybody else, you know? There's no special privileges with everything. Like you have to feel those emotions. And yes, when I got out of jail, I feel like when I was in jail, I'm gonna tell you this, the Holy Spirit had come to me. And when I was up in that jail cell, the Holy Spirit had come to me and said, listen here, if you don't get your ish together, this is gonna be your life. This is gonna be your life. And listen here, my grandfather, my grandfather spent his life down the road. hmm Because his temper got the best of him. His emotions got the best of him. You know, he didn't have the coping skills. You know, therapy wasn't cool. Therapy wasn't popular. I'm here today because of grace and mercy. Because, I'm healed by the stripes, and we all are. But I had faith. That's believing something that you can't even see. I had faith that better days was on the way. I had faith that this wouldn't last forever. Whatever I was in, I knew one day I would be out of it. That stress, man, it'll take you up out of here. I'm trying to tell you. Those are silent deletions. And if nobody's told you, I love you, I care about you. But I also want you, however, I want you to get the help that you deserve. And I feel like everybody deserves that help. You owe it to yourself. And I'm a witness. I'm a witness. You know, I'm going there, trying to paint a picture of you just, you know, this good person, you give back, you this, that, and the third. Go in there and be vulnerable when time permits. I'm not saying you're going to go in therapy the first day and just tell it all. No, it's about building healthy relationships. It's okay to take your time. Some of us have always moved fast by nature in our environments. It's okay to step back. Life isn't always about a rush. You know, like I tell you all, we've made it to 6,500 subscribers. We want to definitely thank you for that. That's from being authentic. We didn't buy any supporters. We didn't buy any bots and things like that. When we got this platform, things like that was introduced to us. The Queen Tulsa Show said we want to get it out the mud. We want to go through those trial and errors. We want to feel those moments, right? We want to feel it all. We don't want anything given to us. We want to work for what we want, right? I always been like that. I gotta tell y'all a story. My dad, my mom's, one of her ex-husbands had a renovation company, and it was, he was staying with us, and it was him, my mom's best friend. It was my brother, and I believe it was just us, and we weren't because I think my cousin she was gone somewhere, but we would do construction with him. We would do renovations and things like that. I've never been the type to feel like, oh, well, I can't say that. I can't say that because one time I had got real bougie. I got real bougie. I had got like $2,000 where I had $2,000. I had filed taxes and everything. And I was working at Wendy's. And I was really good at my job. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like that drive-through, baby, trust and believe that, honey, they had me on that drive-through because, baby, I would finesse those folks. Baby, I was upselling, baby. You was gonna get you an extra large. You was gonna biggie size it. Okay, you was gonna biggie size it when I was on the window. Okay. And I was always gonna upsize, especially like when we had it was the season of the Frosties. Remember that I think it was like October. We had these little booklets that we, have to sell the booklets and stuff, and you would get, you would put your name up on the board, you write your name up on there anytime you got a donor. Child, my name was full up on there because I was always just, I love the microphone. Like seriously, I love the microphone. I used to watch Monica Kaufman. I used to listen to Portia Fox. It's time to rock the box with Portia Fox, and then Greg Street, and then Hot 1079, DJ Monte, uh, and uh, and and there was some more people that was on the radio. doing their thing. But I used to always call into the radio, like radio was just all my thing, like radio, news anchor, you name it. I was so inspired when I would see my people on those TV screens and really doing it up and reporting that news. Or even on the radio, like I said, on the radio, kicking those jams. Let's see. Okay, so when it comes to church and things like that, like I have my points of views, I have my pros and cons. I have been traumatized by the church. hmm I've been traumatized by the church, and like with some of my family members in church, um, and let me just take this back. My mother is a PK, you know, so we'll take it back. My mom is a PK, and so I want to say that my mom did the best that she could with what she was given. Growing up, I really didn't understand, and I just didn't, grasp some of her actions and things like that. But I remember she gave the pastor permission to give me a spanking. I mean, it was with a paddle. I remember fighting his son on the church grounds. I remember my schoolmate had done some things to one of my family members. And when we saw him at church, I had some nunchucks. I'm gonna take y'all back. I'm one of those girls that was outside, honey, playing, and I'm gonna tell y'all how I made my nunchucks. I used like a broomstick, and just saw it off in half. And then what you would do is you would get you like a little nail that was circled like a U, like U-Haul, but you would get you a chain. Get your little chain link, and you would hammer that part in, and then get your other stick and do the same thing with that one. So those were homemade nunchucks. And I was in elementary school when I learned how to make those. Hey, NAB Uncensored, how are you, Grand Rise? And happy Saturday to you. I pray that today meets you in a great place and gives you everything that you desire, your heart's desire. Okay? Because you're going to have a great day on purpose, right? Right. All right. So, even with the church, I love going to church. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was in elementary school. This is when Mama moved us from Oklahoma to Atlanta. So we moved here in '94. So we stayed with our auntie and my uncle and cousin, and they so happened to stay across the street from the church. And when we moved there, my mom's boyfriend had took us there to the church. At that time, it was a different church. I think it was like an African pastor, I believe. I'm not really sure if Pastor Pastor Wiggins was there. However, her and that boyfriend, their relationship dissolved. I think he went back to Tulsa or Cali. And so Mama started, doing her thing or whatever. But I would go to church every Sunday and I would pray for a better life. I would pray for my mom. Because mind you, I had seen my mom get abused and stuff like that by my dad. And I just wanted us to have our own place because we was staying with my auntie, and staying with somebody like as a kid, and not really having your own room and things like that. I mean, I had my own room like when we were in Tulsa, but like moving out of state, mama trying to get on her feet, mama trying to get up the money to get an apartment to get us situated. Yes, from rising and happy Saturday. Yes, as someone say, happy Sabbath. Um, we do have a goal of one. If you all can help us reach our super sticker goal of one, I will go back and stream again right after this. I'm just in the element right now. I'm just relaxing, candles going. Um, I'm just relaxing on this rising. How about y'all? You know, I have the royal family. We're here together. Yeah. Okay. So, like I said, I'm going to church every Sunday, just praying, 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 praying for better day, praying that Mama, would come back because Mom was in the Islands at one point. It seemed like Mama didn't want to come home because Mama would be gone for months at a time. She would send money back home because, she was out there entertaining. But she would send money back home. But just growing up, my auntie was on drugs, right? So my auntie would go in our pocket and steal our money. Rest her soul. I love you, Aunt May. And I don't mean no shade when I tell this story, but my auntie would go in our pockets and steal our money. And I would be so devastated because, the ice cream man or even going down to the store because back in the day, you can go to the store and get you a pop for 25 cents and get you some little candies and stuff. Back in the day, like in the 90s, you could stretch a dollar, you know. Um, even through that, even through all of that, Auntie made sure we had a hot meal. Auntie made sure we had a bath. Auntie sure made sure we had homework done, and Auntie sure made sure we went to school. And one thing Auntie didn't do was stop me from going to church. If I want to go to church, Auntie gonna let me go to church. Auntie may not have went to church, and that's my great auntie. But great auntie may not have went to church, but I went to church, and I prayed for all of us. Even auntie getting up off that stuff. But sadly, auntie got a hold of some bad stuff and was in a vegetative state, and auntie went to glory. And I love her. I love her so much. I used to mess with her when she would get high. She would be walking around the house high in a kite, and I would scare her and stuff like that. And I eventually got my karma because later on in life, I began to smoke that stuff. And child, people used to bother me, come knocking at my door when I would be trying to get into my moment. Like, girl. And she was smiling down from heaven and said, remember what you used to do to me? And I'd be like, damn, auntie, you sure right. You sure right. But I miss her. I miss her. She used to take us on her runs to go and get her stuff. I was like, why we sitting up in the van, But honey, eventually I called on honey, we're going to go get Auntie medicine, honey. Auntie would take us by the store. We get our little snacks and stuff that are occupied while she down in there do her thing. Whatever, whatever. But one thing I can say is Auntie never sold us. Auntie never sold us. My uncle had a good job. My uncle worked for this he worked for this cement company. You know what I'm saying? Auntie had her own vehicle. Auntie had bills paid. Only thing Auntie had to do was take care of the house, make sure dinner and stuff was done, and breakfast and stuff. That's where I got that from with the salmon croquettes and all of that. Auntie, great Auntie taught me that. Laundry, making sure the house clean, for the family, for that man. If that man going out and he making sure these bills is taken care of, this house gonna be clean, okay? And when that man come home, it's gonna be peace for him. Ain't no yelling up in here. My husband then went to work. He done went out there. He worked very hard for this family. So yes, it's gonna be some relaxation up in here. And then a lot of people say, "Oh, you act like an old woman." Listen here, I don't have no women. I don't have people up in and out my house. This is my sanctuary. This is my king sanctuary. Okay, ain't none of that. Uh-uh. My children, Y'all, I'm so proud of my children. Y'all, when I can say, oh my goodness, try not to cry. My children, they went to the academic bowl yesterday, and it just so happened that they were all at one school. So they were uh, at one of their schools, so they were all there. My oldest was there, and my middle child and my youngest child were just going just to observe, get the feel of what, how it is, what type of pressure, what type of questions, just, just going there to get some experience before they, just jump into the ring. I always say, do your research before you just, go getting into stuff, right? So one thing I can say, have utilized that skill. So they were there for the academic bowl, and my oldest, oh my goodness, out of 22 schools. Well, first of all, I want to say that it was just my child, another child. I think it was like three of them from their high school. So it was only three of them from their high school. They battled like 22 other schools with full teams, and they placed number four. May I say that they won every round? There were three rounds. So for my oldest and for my children, I say, you know what? We're going to go thrifting tomorrow. So we're going to go thrifting today. And so I'm really excited. I'm really excited that I'm able to reward them, for, choosing themselves, choosing their own path, wanting to educate, wanting to get involved. They have a black mother, you know, they know black history. They're learning it. I'm taking them on Greenwood, okay? My youngest baby interviewed generations of very diligent, upstanding people in our community, ones that have built businesses and legacies for generations. We're out there in those streets. We put it online, but sometimes people they don't watch those type of things. But I'm gonna put Tulsa all in y'all's face. Listen here. I'm gonna be shoving Tulsa, Oklahoma all in y'all's faces. Okay? In a good way. In a good way. Okay? In a good way. There's so many great things that we are working on. Even the content creators from different states that are that you guys see on here. I'm going to be working with some content creators on here. We're going to be bridging some gaps. We're going to be giving you all what you deserve. And that's a break from, you can still watch your drama and stuff, but this is going to be a break from that reality. We're going to give you a different perspective, different points of views of different realities that are going on, different things that are going on, maybe things that you just didn't know, you know, was happening, you know? And then next month, we're covering the Naziah Harris trial and Tasha K is due in court, I think, in about a few weeks with her bankruptcy. They say Nyla has lost her channel again. Hmm. But I'm just focusing on getting this launch for our class. If anybody knows how to do, if anybody knows how to do, what is it called? a flyer, a flyer. If anybody knows how to do a flyer, I need a flyer done, and I want to launch the Queen Tulsa Content Creators class this month. I'm gonna do a lovely special. The month of love. The month of Black History. And speaking of, go ahead and give you some education on Black history. Because I want to do my due diligence and making sure I'm serving you all. This is your channel. Okay, this is your channel. The people that are in here, this is your channel. This is your safe space. This is your kicking spot. Okay? Okay. Let's get into this. Let us conquer the soil, for therein lies I sub our substance. Substance. Okay. Let's conquer the soil, for therein lies our substance. Let us conquer the soul, for therein lies our power. Let us never cease to laugh, to live, to love, and to grow. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And that's from Martin Luther King. We have to talk about liberating minds as well as liberating society. Angela Davis. Believe in yourself. Learn and never stop wanting to build a better world. Mary McLeod Bethune. A life is not important except in the impact it has on other lives. Jackie Robinson. From what we got, from what we get, we can make a living. What we give, however, makes a life. Arthur Ashe. Neither love nor terror makes one blind. Indifference makes one blind. James Baldwin. The theme for Black History Month 2025 is African Americans and labor. This theme focuses on the role of work in the past and present and the contributions of Black workers to the social, economic, and cultural development of the United States. Okay, that was your Black history for today. What else did I have in my title? Okay, so I want to get on. Okay, so we spoke about Brian and how he felt like things were just demonic, and he hangs out with a particular person that goes in on the community, doesn't mean him well, and uses shock value, using it as making fun. Then we have in Bernadette that was, recently called out, right? She says she's been stalked, she's been harassed. She will be dropping some receipts today. Under new management, allegedly has a stalking problem. Uh-huh. Well, that's what she said. Uh-huh. And then we have um the injustice. Just the injustice. The injustice of it all. You know, the injustice of it all. Now, Brianna did go live, and Brianna pretty much. Deflected. Brianna didn't really say anything pertaining to the real beefs that were going on in this sector. She pretty much wanted to tell you everything but what was going on, but she did make sure she included Mr. Pettyville. She wanted to let everybody know that he was still in sight and he did not make her a single baby's mom. Okay. So besides that, I guess he's still around. And he's going out and it's appearing like he's working. So shout out to them. And shout out to everybody that come by. But listen here, that's all I have for you as of now. I want to thank you all for coming by for this broadcast on this grand Saturday, Sabbath Saturday. Okay. And I want you all to have a great purpose um, and walk in it. Find it, pull it out, go for it. Okay. Because you deserve to be happy. Like, if you're feeling a certain type of way, there are resources out there. Trust me, there are resources out there. I'm taking advantage of them. If you want to know how I've navigated from out of jail to in the spotlight for a good reason. So you can definitely learn that. All right. And always remember. Hello and welcome. Thank you all for coming by. I really appreciate you. What's a girl to do? She needs love, sometimes need love. Girls can't never say they want it. Girls can't never say yeah.